Okay, so I have yet another video that I must have forgot to edit, but as I'm going through clearing out things to make more space to film, I found this video. So here we go. I did cut up my toddler some apples because, of course, he was trying to eat an onion. I didn't think he'd like that. So tonight for dinner, we are doing mushroom Swiss burgers. This is an homage, you could say, to the pork Swiss burgers me and my husband got in one of those meal kit boxes we tried. So instead of going out on date nights, we got the meal kits for me and him to do like date nights at home. Anyways, I am slicing up some onion to go with the mushrooms because it's delicious. If you haven't had that combo, they're delicious. Anyways, you guys, I have made this and I've put it on my meal plan, and I keep not buying the stuff to make it because usually when I buy mushrooms, I make 2 singular meals that I know my husband will eat and maybe a few of my kids. And that is these burgers and not Mississippi pot roast. What is it? That other thing. I can't think of it. Anyways, it's a stew thing. So right now I'm cooking down mushrooms, and I really enjoy mushrooms. I hated them as a kid, loved them as an adult. So I'm cooking down mushrooms in some butter, and I'm going to add the onions, like just cook them together, not in batches. And I believe I use salt, pepper, and maybe garlic powder. I'm not 100% sure if I use balsamic. Again, like I told you, I filmed this a while ago, and I assumed I must have shared it, but now I'm looking back on it. I would have deleted it after I posted it to YouTube, so obviously I didn't share it. So there you go. Salt, pepper, garlic powder. Let's see if I add anything else. I'm not entirely sure if I do. That might just be it, and I might just cook it down as the topping to the burgers. So, what is it? Beef stroganoff. That's the meal I was thinking of. That's the only other meal that really takes mushrooms that my family will eat. Otherwise, they don't eat mushrooms. Why does it look like my kids dug their fingers in the butter? That's cute. Actually, they probably did. I'm not going to lie. My kids are good for that. So you're going to cook this down until the onions are completely cooked and the mushrooms are all wilted down. Is that right word? Yeah. Till they're all wilted down and a good looking like top. Think gravy without the gravy. That's the best way I can describe it. So you're just going to really cook them down. As you see, I add more butter to mine. This is probably not the healthiest dish, but it's a delicious dish. So I have 2 pounds of ground beef because, again, if I'm going to make these for us, I'm making plain burgers for the kids. So I have 2 pounds of ground beef. To my ground beef for burgers, I always add salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and Worcestershire sauce if I have it. That's an automatic. So there you go. Salt. And then there goes the pepper. And like I said, garlic powder and onion powder. I would love to be that family who can take a pound of ground beef and make burgers for everybody. I have yet to figure out how to do that. It always takes 2 pounds of ground beef. So if you guys have any tips, let me know, because my goodness, I do have a larger family. So let's be real. It looks like a lot, but it works. I promise you the flavors work. My kids like a good flavorful burger. So do I. I know some people are like salt and pepper. That's it. And that's great. I can't do that. I love flavor in my burgers. And I'm not knocking anybody who likes, like the salt and pepper. That's awesome. But my dad used to add the Worcestershire sauce and everything to the burgers, and I always loved them. So that's how I do them. I'm not going to lie. There are times where I have added, what was it? Was it like breadcrumbs and just to make the burgers more hearty? That's the way I do my meatloaf burgers. And I've done it with my regular hamburgers, and it stretched and made the burgers more hearty. And my family liked them, but I don't do that often. I know that sounds weird, but until you try it, don't judge it too harshly. So anyways, I believe I made 10 burgers. I was trying to stretch them enough to have leftovers the next day for either my kids or my husband to take to work, or my kids to have for lunch. I guess I didn't make them as big. Now I am just going in. I don't know. I think it was raining this day. In all honesty, usually I try and not do burgers in the house, or I usually do them in the oven. So I don't know what I was doing them on the stove for, but I did. So there's that. Um, I love this pan, but for the life of me, you know how some pans get that stain? I get so frustrated because I can never get it out. And then when I look at it, I'm just like, this is dirty. I don't want to use it. But it's my pan. Anyways, I use this pan to do the burgers. Yeah, just cook them till they're done. My kids do not want to see pink in their burgers personally. I will eat my meat medium. I don't like my burgers to have pink in them, so I get where they're coming from. I don't know why my brain can't comprehend that it's still beef, but I don't do pink in my burgers. I'll do it on my steaks, but not my burgers. So I believe I did either 9, maybe I did 10 to 12 burgers. I'm not 100% sure. But I did do half of them with Swiss cheese and the mushroom topping. So I'm just cooking these down and then I'm going to put them in the oven to finish them off to make sure there's no pink in them because, you know, my kids and me, let's be real, and me. But let me explain to you how delicious these burgers are. I cannot get enough of them. And now that I am editing this video, I'm going to go ahead and put mushrooms and stuff and Swiss cheese on my, see, look it, how delicious. How delicious does that look? My kids will only eat a single burger. They also had fries and some other things. I like pretzel buns. My husband has regular buns. But I absolutely love pretzel buns. And I believe I toasted my buns. That would be why I'm putting butter on them. I don't just eat butter with my burger, though. But you guys, 10 out of 10, one of my favorite burger recipes. I would highly recommend it if you're willing to give it a try. I'm sure a lot of you have probably tried these before. So it's not like I'm showing you anything new. But when I tell you, these are phenomenal. And if you did them with like ground pork instead, that's how the meal kit did them. I did them with the ground beef because my kids are not going to eat pork burgers. They might if I didn't tell them it was pork, but you guys, totally worth it. Mustard, ketchup, mayo, I believe, or maybe I just did mustard. That looks like just mustard. I think I did just mustard on it. Maybe there was a little bit of mayo, but these, chef's kiss, phenomenal. Highly recommend, 10 out of 10. Like, yum. Look at that. Look how good that looks. I knew there was fries there somewhere. I was waiting for them. Definitely give these a try. So delicious. Don't forget to check my description box for all my links.